Hello, I'm Brad reporting for Alt Corner at 2000 Trees Festival 2016, and I'm joined by the brilliant Jamie Lenman.
Brilliant, Jamie Lenman.
Wow. What an introduction that is, hey?
Thanks, Brady.
How are you?
Really good. Well, someone just called me brilliant. Doesn't get better than that, man.
You know, life goals.
I just met you. I feel pretty good.
I'm a big fan, so what can I say?
Thank you very much.
I mean, so what's it like? How are you enjoying 2000 Trees so far?
Well, I've only been here a couple of hours, and already it has been super duper fun. I did a little set in the forest stage, which I'd never done before.
And was that a covers set you were doing?
That's right, I did all covers, and it was a lovely environment, and the crowd were very receptive. We had a really great time, and then before that I went to see the St. Pierre Snake Invasion, and they were just so great.
They're a great band, aren't they?
And since then, I've just been sort of talking to chums, because a lot of my chums turned up, and I've been doing interviews for a little bit, and you know, that's fun as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Meeting new guys, new people.
Exactly.
So it's all good so far. I got another set later on. See how that goes. Ask me again.
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh,
That's going to be a very cool set. So I mean, like, what made you decide to do the cover set on the forest stage? Well, how did it come about?
Because I wanted to differentiate between the two sets somehow. Because they asked me to do two, and I thought, well, I can't just play all my same songs both times. Although I probably could have.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm sure lazy people do. But I thought, let's make it a little bit different. So I thought, maybe, how about, they didn't ask me to, but I said, how about if I do forest stage all covers, and then that would give people a reason to come and see both.
Yeah.
Maybe you would, because I sort of thought you would maybe just wander past the forest thing. But I think a lot of people were there on purpose. But anyway, hey, how you doing? And so we had a good time there, and then hopefully those guys will still come back to the next stage.
I'm sure they will.
Ladbroke,
I'm very excited to see you guys.
Cool.
See you later. That's gonna be fantastic. So your debut solo album obviously has been out for a little while now.
Yeah.
I mean, how is, kind of looking back onto that release, I know it's a little while ago now, but like, what was the reaction from that? You know, what's your kind of overriding feeling when you look back on that record?
Well, I felt like the reaction was very generous. I have to say that I sort of, I felt bad because I'd second guessed people a bit, and I sort of assumed that some people, not everyone, but I thought some people might sort of like one half and not so much the other. I was sort of hoping for that, really, because I wanted, if you were into metal, I wanted the folk stuff to really piss you off. And if you were really into folk, I wanted you to be like disgusted and upset by the heavy stuff, right?
Yeah.
I was sort of hoping that you go around someone's house, you see the record, and you open up, you find out they've thrown away one of the CDs. But everyone sort of embraced it all.
Yeah.
Sort of wrong-footed me there, and I realised that maybe I'd underestimated my audience, which is bad. Now, I did set out to make some hard musical choices for people, but I'm happy to say that they took it all on the chin, as it were, and just rolled with the whole deal.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I majorly respect you for, I mean, I was a massive fan of Reuben, and I think when a lot of bands split up and, you know, necessarily maybe a lead singer goes and does something solo, they could you could have probably quite easily gone down that route and made very similar kind of music, but
to Reuben?
To Reuben, yeah. Whereas you were like, I'm going to do exactly what I want to do, you know, you came up with Muscle Memory, and like, you know, like you say, you didn't really care if it pissed people off or not, you just did.
Well, I wanted it to piss people off.
What you wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean, thanks. Sorry, what's your question? I feel like I cut
it's just like, you know, how did you kind of arrive at the sound of Muscle Memory? I mean,
well, it was from a desire to not do exactly like that previous band, because I had a lot of material when I started mucking around and playing some new songs, and we had like 5 or 6 songs with my heavy metal band that I was practicing with, and they just sounded like Reuben, and like there's nothing wrong with that. And at some point, you know, I'll put those songs out because they're still good songs and I'm sure people would enjoy them. But I thought for the first thing back, you don't want to come back with someone that sounds exactly the same, right? In as much as you don't want any album to sound exactly like the last one. I think the leap from the last Reuben album to Muscle Memory is more pronounced. But maybe there's a few albums in between there that might have got there eventually. I'm not sure Reuben would have ever done anything that heavy or quite that jazz. But you never know. I mean, who knows what would have happened. But I decided to do the split thing because I wanted to make it sound different. But I mean, it sounds sort of the same to me still. I don't know. I don't think it's inconceivable. I mean, some of the songs on that record we were playing in Reuben, you know, mucking around with, and they might have ended up on a Reuben record at some point. So it's not that different. But I did make a decision to try and make it as different as possible.
Well, that's very cool. So, I mean, like, is there any new music in the pipeline for you, or?
Well, it's all about opportunity, you know. I would, with that first one, you know, that was the result of 5 years of just inactivity, and, you know, it's 30 songs or whatever it was, five years of creativity just came out in one lump. And then when I had it, I went to extra mile with it and we just put it out. I think if I was going to do another record, I would want to reach a broader audience.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure anyone heard that record. I think it was mainly people that were interested in the old band, which is like super cool.
Yeah.
But I think any artist worth their salt wants to reach a wide as audience as possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Which isn't to say that I don't like hugely value those fans who bought Muscle Memory, and I hope they'll come with me on the musical journey wherever it leads.
Yeah.
But I want to get some new people on for a ride as well. So if I do another record, I think the breaking point for me are not the breaking point, what's the word I'm looking for? The crucial factor will be that it will be with a label or with some kind of situation where I can reach more people. So I'm going to wait until that comes
Will that
up.
be like maybe changing the style a little bit, or?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, I write music in all kinds of different styles as it is. I wouldn't be against, I would work with a producer and maybe I'd say have a listen to these 20 demos and pick 10. I wouldn't be against having it tailored a bit, but I wouldn't put on like a leotard and go on top of the pops. But I suppose if you are talking about reaching more people, that will mean perhaps not a jazz thrash double album.
Well, maybe.
So not the most sellable record there.
No.
But I did it and it was fun, and I think the next thing would have to be a little bit more cohesive in order to reach some more people.
Superb. So you obviously, aside from your music, you do a lot of kind of art as well, don't you?
Mostly art, yeah.
I mean, how did that come around, I suppose? Like, when did that start?
I was doing drawing before I ever picked up a guitar. I had a pencil in my hand first, and I always did that throughout when I was in the band. When the band was taking up most of my time, I still did it. And in fact, when I was in the band, I was drawing a cartoon for Rock Sound magazine.
Oh wow!
But I did it under a different name because I was criticising. Because it's the job of the satirical cartoonist to criticise the people in the magazine, right?
Yeah.
I mean, good-naturedly. But I did it under a different name because I didn't want to run into these people in bands and I'd just drawn a cartoon of them looking like dickheads. So I was always doing it under the radar, and then when the band finished, I had more time to concentrate on it, and that became how I earned my money and how I pay my rent, and that's my living really.
Yeah.
I don't make any money. It's hard enough to make money off the cartoons, let alone the music. Forget about it. So I just do this for the love, and so I paid my bills with the cartoons and the drawings, and it was just always there bubbling away. And when the band finished, I got a chance to concentrate on it. I'm still sort of concentrating on it.
That's superb. You kind of had that time now to actually follow different paths and stuff like that.
People say life is short, man, but the truth is life is long, and you've got a lot of time to do all kinds of things. There's all kinds of opportunities. Whatever you want to do, you don't have to do just the one thing. You can do lots of them.
So I mean, as a massive Reuben fan, is there any chance that they could, you guys could
had
potentially
to ask.
get that?
Didn't you have to ask? You can't do the interview without asking.
I have to.
No, there's no chance. Well,
no chance.
We're all still alive.
Well,
and that,
so there's still a chance.
Statistically, the thing is, whenever I say there's still a chance, people go, "Oh, that means it's gonna do it," and they think I've got this little twinkle in my eye. But there's no. Look at my eye. There's no twinkle. There's a chance because we're still alive, and at one point someone might, I don't know, offer us £1 million or threaten to kill like a bus full of school children. Don't kill a bus full of school children. If it happens, then you know that some hideous calamity has been threatened. Don't threaten me. I'm digging myself into a pile of goo here. I don't want to, but if I was forced, don't force me.
I mean, what do you make of like the support that band's got? Because it seems to be like one of those. Reuben itself, like, it seems to get, for me anyway, like when I speak to people, it seems to be getting more and more popular.
Is that really true? Because
I think it has. I mean, like,
it's how it does seem that to me, because because I was in the band, people tend to talk to me a lot about it.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine. So I feel like I only get like a focused like beam of like Reuben news.
Yeah.
So whenever someone talks to me about it, it's because someone's done a new tribute gig, or they want us to do another reissue, or someone's offered us like £5 to play a gig in Plymouth University. No. So I get quite a lot of it, and I just sort of assume that's because, well, they're talking to me, so obviously I hear about it a lot, and it does feel like they seem to be way more popular now than when they were around. But you know what? We have a culture of that, don't we?
We do, yeah.
Like things when they go on and we go, "Oh, I really like that," and you're like, "Oh, did you?" Maybe
it's that
we
kind
should have
of
bought a record.
Yeah,
maybe we
the
should have bought a
nostalgia
ticket
hit as well,
and
isn't
we would
it?
still be around. A little bit of nostalgia, I think you're right.
Yeah.
And I think that's crucial because people do say, oh, wouldn't it be great if you guys got together and did another gig? And the truth is that no, it wouldn't, because we're like old guys now, like fat old men. The other two, I still see them, they're less fat and old than me, but they are still fat and old. And if we did a gig now, it'd be like, and people would be upset. If you could get that band of young boys from like 10 years ago to play a gig, yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that doesn't exist anymore. And so to get the three old dudes go, good night, you know, would just be horrible. And everyone would be like, oh, this isn't what I remember. You're damn right it's not what you remember, because what you remember is gone. And that's good because everything goes, and it's good to have a finite end to it.
Yeah, and I suppose in some ways, I mean, it's quite nice that that's, you know, you did your albums, you did, you know, what you had to do, and, you know, and it's there for everyone to enjoy now.
We only ever wanted to do one album, and we did 3, and I can't believe, you know, how lucky we were to do that. You know, I just, let's leave it where it is. It's fine where it is.
Yeah.
Imagine if we came with another record and it was absolute balls, and we were like, oh, what you say split up, because it would be balls. I would write it balls on purpose.
Okay, so going back to your solo stuff, I saw that you've released a couple of bootleg live sessions on your Facebook. Covers and stuff, yeah. I don't know if it was you personally or...
Oh yeah, no, I do have a dude that sorts that out for me, but I know what you mean. I put up, the little clips just because I was playing a cover set, and I thought, hey, here's some other covers I've done to get everyone in the mood. Lottie, thanks so much. She got me some water. Don't be getting a shot. I look unprofessional. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lottie. I put a couple of covers up, but that was just because someone took a recording off a desk and I'd had it kicking around, and I thought, well, this is kind of nice, but why would I ever play it to anyone? And then I thought, oh shit, I'm doing the cover set. Can I swear on?
Yeah, it's fine. It's all on the internet. It's all good.
Bollocks, we're okay. I just thought it'd be fun just for this festival. So yeah, I think people seem to like it. They like the Nirvana one.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But
that
who
was
doesn't
really
like Nirvana?
good. Exactly, who doesn't?
Idiots.
So I mean, is that something that you said that you've got lots of demos and lots of material and stuff. I mean, is that something that you're going to potentially, give to people, in the future, or is it just going to always kind of stay away and in your vault of music and
well, it's nice
demos?
I would like everything to be heard at one point. I think if by the time I had like an album's worth of original material, I would put that on a proper CD out through a label and whatever. But people are always, I think every gig I've ever done has been bootlegged in some form, which is really cool because you see pictures from like 20 years ago, you didn't realise, you think, oh, that was what my hair looked like from the back, and it's a bit weird. And people send it to me and I think, oh, this is nice, and then I think, I know who would like that. The 600 whole people on my internet site. I've got 600 people, count it. They all listen to me all the time. And so I thought people would enjoy it, and they did. So things like that, you couldn't really call it release quality.
Yeah.
But I think people enjoyed it, so yeah, I keep
Everyone loves a demo.
Loves a demo.
If it's your favourite band or your favourite artist and they release demos,
but that's the thing, because I get really excited. I'm in the lucky position where I know a lot of these bands now. I know people from them, and I'm always emailing and saying, if you've got like rough take, because I've got all their albums, I've got all their B-sides.
I'm the exact same.
Please give me more. Is there like a unmixed version? I want to hear it. Just one of my favourite bands the other day, Baddies, who used to tour with them. I emailed their singer just the other day and said, dude, if you got like any demos or stuff I hadn't heard, and he's like, yeah, and it's rough as arseholes. But I love to hear it, so I can understand that people that are really into my music, yeah, it's badly recorded and I played a wrong chord in the middle, but if I'm interested in that sort of stuff, other people would be too. We all just love music, so I'm very pleased that people enjoy it.
I just find it fascinating just how little
how
demo
can it be so bad?
Yeah, well, in some cases how so bad, so different, and how it actually ends up as the finished article. I just find the whole journey just fascinating.
If you're a real muso, you could listen to 20 different versions of Sgt. Pepper's. I've got like 20 different versions, and they're all fascinating. And I will listen to a different one every day. You can hear Sgt. Pepper's, that whole record. You can hear a different version of it every time you turn on your iPod or whatever the fuck ever people use. iPods don't happen these days, do they?
No, not really.
That's still a guy from the 1920s. It's all phones. But yeah, I'm really into that. And if people consider my stuff, interesting enough to delve into the really bad versions, then I'm really pleased. Really pleased.
Superb. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak
to us. You're welcome, Brady.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers.
you.